The New York Times recently talked about how more and more Americans of retirement age are moving to cities like New York. And some of the key factors that they talked about were walkability, culture and energy, connection, and downsizing. Let's first talk about walkability. Pretty much everything you need you can find on a street corner in New York City at any given time. Groceries, supplies, uh, coffee, you name it. But if where you're going is a little bit further than what you would want to walk, then there's always the public transportation system. There's the subway and an extensive bus routes, especially around Brooklyn. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is culture and energy. In addition to having access to amazing theaters in New York City like Broadway and all the shows, it's about the people here. At least that's been my experience. And having access to all the different cultures, I realize that the world lives in New York City. For example, there's the Hispanic culture. When I first arrived to New York, there was a very large Mexican Independence Day parade in Manhattan. I was a bit surprised to see that, but it was really awesome, and I loved seeing all the people dancing and all the really cool souped up cars and the music and people just walking around carrying the Mexican flag. Another one of my favorites is going over to Chinatown, and I get to go there for lunch quite often because my office is nearby. And I like going there for the Chinese New Year, where you get to see the dancing dragons and you get to do some well wishes and hope for some good luck into the new year. I'd also like to mention the very large Caribbean culture that we have here, especially in Brooklyn. It's really focused around music and dancing and food, the roti, the curry, the soca dancing. I absolutely love it. So a little shout out to the Caribbean culture that we have here in Brooklyn that I also did not expect, and it was a nice, pleasant surprise whenever I got here. And the third key factor is connection. The experts will tell you that life is all about connection. So New York City is a great place to do that. There's so many people here. I find them to be friendly. I know that can be debatable. But I love it here. I very much get into the running community. New Yorkers love to run. I've been going to races in Central Park and Prospect Park and really enjoying that. You get to see the different parts of New York City when you get out there and run. I'm also cultivating a friendship circle within my own apartment complex, which is nice and convenient. You got people that you can hang out with and connect with. It kind of is a little nod to that stoop culture that we used to see on TV growing up. When I was growing up in Missouri, we didn't have stoop culture. We had driveways and backyard barbecues. So here, it's pretty cool to see that. And the last key factor is downsizing. So I've been working for the Army for about 15 years now, and so that means I've moved around quite a bit. And every time that I've moved, I've had an opportunity to get rid of some of the things that I don't need, that I've accrued in life. Many people find that when they move to a city like New York, they have to downsize their things. And instead of looking at it in a sad way, they can look at it in a positive way where, it's letting go. And speaking of new beginnings, New York City is a great place to move if you're entering that next chapter in your life. I've certainly embraced the reinventing of myself on a daily basis, having opened my business and building my business in real estate, joining the running scene, and cultivating my friendship circle within my apartment complex. Living my best life with no regrets, and I hope to see you here as well.